So this bag has lived in the back of my truck since the summertime. Outlast sent this over to me, and it's replacing the other bag that I had back there if you saw the past video. That was an Overlanding, Bugout, whatever survival type, really just a catch-all kind of bag. I went to use the other bag one time, pulled it out, and it was moldy, mildew on the inside. Any paper products were starting to rot because it had gotten water in it. Now, if you know anything about the bed of a pickup truck, it is not a waterproof space. There's just holes everywhere for mounting options. I ran a bunch of wires, so that's going through the cover. It's just not going to be waterproof. Having a waterproof bag helps to fix that, though. So this has been in there since probably August. So it's December now, so however many months that is. And there's really no signs of wear and tear on this bag. I've just left it in there and driven around. I don't drive recklessly, but I mean, I'm definitely not driving like grandma's got sweet tea in her hands and we're driving to church or whatever that thing for driving in the snow in the south is. And this bag's just been back there, taking a beating in the elements. And I mean, there's a little bit of, you can see that there's some marks and stuff on this webbing here. But other than that, I really don't see anything. There's no big gashes. Once we get into this, everything's still dry as far as I know. So let's go through what I carry in here. Number one right on top is my thermocell. This, for camping or anything else where there's bugs, that's a game changer. I hate mosquitoes, and that helps a lot with it. Keep some 550 cord in here. You never know when you're gonna need to hang stuff up. I've got this Stanley. This is their French press, I believe. Yes. And so I've got a couple things of coffee in here. And then inside of this, I've got a Jetboil. Well, it's an off-brand I bought at Walmart for like 20 bucks or something. Works really well. That over there. And this is easy to make a pot of coffee. This is also from Stanley. They're not sponsoring me, but I just like their products. They're fairly inexpensive and durable. But this is falling on the ground. This is their, I think they call it like their pot and cup set or something. But basically this is to use, I'll cook like ramen noodles or something simple like that in here. And the lid has some holes in it, so you can strain out the water. And this folds down pretty nice, compact. It's a little bit smaller than this. But with those, you can make coffee, make some easy food with the Jetboil, heat up water, whatever you need to do. Got some fuel for the Jetboil. This is just butane propane mix. Put that in there. Got some stir-fried chicken noodles. So those will come in handy more than once or twice. Forgot food or whatever. Got some protein bars in there. What else we got down in here? Some tuna. Really hope it doesn't come to this, but some protein, some sustenance if you need it, if you're out for a while and you're running out of food. I have a GMRS radio. This also does ham. Not technically legal to talk on it, but this is more of like not necessarily an emergency situation, but that's why this is in here. I've got the Coast Guard frequencies in here. I've got pretty much anything with it, and life or death situation, you can talk on anything you need to. As I've talked about in the past with radios, probably not the best bet to rely on a radio because you need somebody listening, and that's not always the case that you're going to hit a tower, but it's a good backup plan if I don't have the Zoleo. Next, I've got this little inflatable pillow. It is, I think this is actually meant for like backpacking, but it works well because it collapses in here. It's just got this air valve, blow it up to however thick and big you want it, and you've got a nice little pillow in there. Works pretty well in the hammock too. It's a good size for that. Which brings me to, I've got my Eno hammock straps, and I've got my Eno hammock. I got this when I was in high school. I use it all the time, especially before we got the rooftop tent. I used to sleep in this constantly. Anytime we were camping, anytime we were doing anything, I still love this. So that goes everywhere with me. That's the other thing with this bag. It's not just for worst case scenario. It is just so I can have all this stuff with me. I was at a campfire a couple months ago now, and we pulled out the thermocell because the bugs were bad. So just having this with me, everything in one spot so I know where it is great. Got my Eno, this is their Guardian DX bug net. My brother got me this for Christmas or my birthday, and that's come in handy quite a few times as well. And I think the last hammock related thing in here, I have my Foxelli. I got this on Amazon, but it's just a rainfly, which has also come in handy quite a few times. That's kept me dry in a pretty bad thunderstorm. I almost thought about leaving, but I was dry, so I stayed. Got a fixed blade knife. This is just a cheap one. I have a nicer knife that I would normally carry with me, but I leave this in there just in case. It's not the sharpest, but it's all right. I've got a hat, a long sleeve shirt in here. What else we got down in the bottom here? A couple random things. This bag is super deep. It holds so much stuff. And I mean, as you saw when I carried it in, there's still plenty of room to add more. So this is this is where that went. The grease for the zippers. So they sent me the backpack. I think this is a 45 liter. What does it say? 40 liter. This is a 40 liter bag. And then they sent me the 60 or 65 liter duffel. And I've kept this one in the truck, and I've used that on a couple other things. I used that when I went over to the island on the paddleboard. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that at the end. That was a lot of fun. Basically, I loaded up a duffel bag with everything I needed for overnight. And yes, a 65 liter duffel is a lot for overnight, but I brought a lot of camera gear and things like that, and I have plenty of room in that bag too. So these bags have been super nice. Just waterproof bags in general. That'd be a great thing to get somebody a Christmas gift. But it comes with this grease for the zippers, so they slide a little easier. I have a darker tan. This is supposed to be a darker color than this. It's not wet. T-shirt. These are leftover from when I was in the Army, so I just keep those in there. A couple garbage bags. Try to clean up my mess. I believe that's all I've got in the main compartment here. There's a leftover wrapper from something. So inside, there's also this. I stand corrected. Got a little hatchet in here also. This was cheap. It was from Walmart. It was actually this was a Christmas gift too. A lot of the stuff I'm realizing was a gift. But it's good for. I haven't used this yet, actually, to be completely honest. But I keep it in there just because I wanted to take it with me. Got some more 550 cord if I need it. Got a hatchet, chop down some little stuff. I don't know how durable this would be, but a better hatchet might be a good idea. So in here, they've got this bag. It Velcros. It's got actually really strong Velcro on the back, and there's a strip on the back of the bag. So you've got this. I keep just a bunch of random loose things in here. So this front pouch, I've got all my Thermacell stuff. I've got a bunch of these little mats that go in there, and then the fuel also. Put that in there so I don't forget it. And that's all I keep in the front pocket, is basically just Thermacell stuff. And then inside here, I have, kind of running out of room here. I have a reflective blanket. I've got a life straw for water purification. I've got this little hand saw. This actually works surprisingly well. I've cut some little branches and stuff with it. You just loop it around and then pull back and forth, and it cuts through, honestly, a lot better than I was expecting. That was like a little stocking stuffer I got one year, and kind of cool. It doesn't take up much room, weighs hardly nothing, so I just take it with me. I've got chainsaws and stuff, but that's easy sometimes. Some zip ties. You never know when you need to, tie stuff together. They're just light, easy to carry, or fix something on the truck. Got a little compass in here. And let's see, another zip tie, a fire starter. This one works pretty well. I bought a pack of these Bic lighters for like $5. Dumped them all in here, so I've got them everywhere I go. And chapstick. Nothing sucks more than being out in the woods, out in nature, with chapped lips. So I carry a couple of these just in case. A couple Bic lighters in here. I've got a knife sharpener. That'll work for the axe or the fixed blade or whatever I'm carrying in my pocket, whatever I've got in the truck. I actually forgot this was in here. But knife sharpener. Smaller lighter. Another thing of chapstick. Actually taking this, put it in my pocket. And another zip tie. So that's pretty much what I have in this bag. Hopefully none of this starts falling off. And then there's also an outer pocket. There's some other pockets here. You've got water bottle pocket there. So in here is all my lights and various things. So I've got just a normal flashlight. I've got this. It's more of like a floodlight. I've got some extra batteries in here for said lights. And I have a handful of chem lights. These are basically military glow sticks. And that is the extent of the back here. Okay, now we'll flip over. And like I said, in these hip straps, these don't come off, so you've got these on all the time. But it's kind of nice because you've got another lighter. Like I said, these are everywhere in this bag. And I think I've got some in the other bag and stashed in the truck. Then on this side, I have, this is just a little razor blade. It's rusted out from the other bag it was in. It's still pretty sharp. I like this because it's just a small, thin knife that I can stick in here. And then I also have a multi-tool. I think I found this somewhere. I don't know anything about it, but it's a Leatherman Charge. So I keep that in here just in case I need screwdriver, knife, pliers, whatever. I love multi-tools. I actually carry one everywhere I go, just a small one. Then I've got this and some other stash in case I need them. So as you can see, this bag holds a ton of stuff, and it wasn't even full. I could probably, maybe not quite double the amount of stuff. And if I knew I was taking this bag out, if I was hiking or something, I'd probably throw a first aid kit. There's spots I could clip my Zoleo on here. There's lots of spots you can clip stuff. You've got these straps on the bottom, so you could put like a sleeping roll down there, a sleeping bag if you wanted to. It's obviously not going to be waterproof on the outside, but you've got plenty of options. On the back, whatever this side is, you've got all these different spots, MOLLE attachments here. So you can add all kinds of stuff on it. You've got these clips, and these are on there pretty well, so you can hold a pretty good amount of weight with that. And I intentionally leave some room in this bag. If I was going out, I've got a little first aid kit I could throw in there. I've got some other stuff that I normally leave in the truck, but if I knew I was, in an emergency situation leaving the truck, or if I was just going out hiking on an overnight trip or something, I could throw that in there, and there's still a lot of room in this bag to add more to it. Even though there's all this stuff on the table, overall I've been really happy with the quality of this bag. Like I said, it's just been bouncing around in the back of my truck for August, September, October, November, 4 or 5 months now, and there's really no signs of wear and tear on here. There's a couple little spots where you can see some marks and stuff, but I mean really nothing. I was expecting there to be a lot more scrapes and little gashes and stuff in here. The webbing getting frayed. I mean, it's barely even dirty, and it's been in there for 4 or 5 months now. So quality with this I'm very happy with. I know the duffel bag, I've used that a couple times and also been happy with it. I love that it's waterproof. The ability to know that your gear is going to stay nice and dry, that is definitely a plus, especially leaving it in the truck. You don't have to worry about your clothes being wet. Getting up the next morning, go to put on clothes, and if they're wet, that sucks. Especially if it's cold out, that gets dangerous. So I really like a waterproof bag. I mean, you can see it's a little bit stiffer than a normal bag, which is kind of nice because it helps to support its own weight. It stands up well. They're a little bit heavier than a normal bag, but really not that much heavier. And you get all of these spots that you can mount various whatevers you want on there. You got here, you got all these different pockets. And it's also going to keep your gear a lot more protected. It doesn't matter if it's in the back of your truck, or if you're out hiking and it's raining, or if you're on a boat, if you're wherever, hunting, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter because your gear's going to stay dry. When I went on the paddleboard, I had probably close to $7,000 worth of camera gear that I took with me, and it was a paddleboard and a waterproof bag. I trusted it, and it stayed nice and dry. So even for less extreme examples, I mean, even just taking your food and your clothing in a bag like that, you don't have to worry about it. With a normal bag, I would have been concerned if we took a rogue wave or something on a paddleboard that all my stuff would have been soaked, cameras ruined, clothing wet, food gone, whatever. Actually didn't take much food with me. Coffee for sure, that would have been a big deal. Go check out, in the description, I'll have a link to their website. You can go check them out. It's just a small company, and they're doing some good work. These are high quality bags at a very reasonable price. And if you want to check out that video of the paddleboard adventure, that's going to be linked right up here.